Mr. Stefan, we read in your card, His Imperial Royal Highness, Prince of Montenegro and Macedonia. Do you want to introduce yourself to the Greek public?
Well, I live in Athens now, and I'm very happy to live here because I'm married here. I'm an Orthodox, very proud to be, and I founded a Greek wife, charming one. And I like to be in Greece also because my family has Greek roots. Because my family, we are Angelos Kominos Paleologos, is the old imperial family from Byzantium. And if you see even the flag of the Republic of Montenegro, I have it here, you see a double eagle. The double eagle is the one of the Kominos Paleologos. And also my grandmother, the mother of my father, she was a princess Laskaris from Thessaloniki. And so both sides I'm, let's say, very much involved in the Greek blood. Unfortunately, I'm not able to speak Greek, but I hope to learn very soon this beautiful language.
Your family dates back hundreds of years ago.
Of course, we are talking about many centuries ago. But I'm very proud to be Greek, I can say, because the blood is important, you know. So my Greek tradition, I'm also Orthodox, and I think it's a jolly good thing to be back in Athens, you know, after so many centuries, I can say. Also my brother, I have a brother, and he said, our Greek tradition is going on.
After the Ottoman occupation of Greece, most of the records and the files were lost. This is the reason why in Greece we do not have this coherent bloodlines. For example, me and Constantina, we don't know who our forefathers were because of the political situation. How can you be sure?
I can be sure because there are a lot of books in every language, in Latin, in Greek, in Italian, in German, that I put more than 100 books on my website. You can see my website, more than 100 books. Of course, you must know the languages because these books are written in every language, in Serbian, in Russian, in Latin. And they are very clear, say the Cernetic family comes from the Angelos Flavios Kominos Paleologos. Of course, we don't know which one of these, because you know, Angelos Paleologos, there were a lot. There were a lot and they were sovereign. It was the Roman Empire, the Greek Roman Empire, and there were a lot, and we don't know exactly which one of these Kominos Paleologos came to Montenegro and started to be sovereign of Montenegro, Serbia, Bulgaria, and so on.
Kominos Paleologos and Constantine Paleologos, son, lost his throne after the 1453, the Ottoman occupation. How can you claim the throne that is lost?
On 29 of May 1453, when the Turkey conquered Byzantine, Constantinople, there is a lot, even if you see in the encyclopedia, that at this day, members of the Imperial Royal Family, they took the ship to save their lives.
So
and
nobody
they
knows.
went to Serbia, they went to Italy.
Exactly.
So if you, now open the encyclopedia, they said about this, about the history.
Nobody knows is the Emperor Constantine, he died or not. So it's a legend, you know. Someone, even the scholars, the historians, they don't know if he flew away with his family, because members of the imperial family, they took these ships and they went away, or maybe he disappeared in some tunnel under Hagia Sophia, or we don't know. It's a legend.
This is a legend, yes, but the official story tell us, the official history tell us that he died fighting.
So you know, the empire was big, and these families were very big. So we don't know exactly which one was that, but we know for sure, and this is the legend, that some of these members of the family, they went in other countries, like in Albania, Epirus, a lot of Albanian noble families, they claim to come from the Komnenos and so on, you know. Also you can see the double eagle in Albania, in the flag. So, you know, even history sometimes is not precise. And also because sometimes history is mixed with politics. So politicians, they always want to change the history how it's good for them, you know, and this is not good. We always try to be objective, because we don't have We are not fighting for a throne. We are not fighting for a crown. And we just want to be objective. But history is history, and the books are important, documents are important, you know.
Mr. Stefan, we should make that clear. You do not claim anything.
Absolutely not.
It is a title of honor which shows a big legacy. Is that right?
I think nobility is also history, and history is culture. Culture is very important to have roots, you know, because we stay in a wonderful country who is Greece. Greece has lots of culture, lots of beauty, lots of monuments, lots of wonderful churches, castles, fortresses. So this beauty and this culture must be known by the rest of the world. Not only because people they come to be tourists, and this is good, because I think Greece is one of the most important places for holidays. One of the first in the world, for sure.
Do you feel Greece as your country, as your homeland? Do you feel that Greece is your homeland?
Yeah, of course, yes, because my blood is Greek and I'm very happy. My only problem is that I'm not yet able to speak the language, but I will learn it at school very soon, because I want to be able in a couple of years to speak Greek. I speak other 6 languages, but not Greek, I'm so fortunately.
You're going to have a lot of help.
And then we have a very good teacher, I hope so. Also, this one is a legend, that our family comes also from Saint Constantine the Great, you know, the first, of course there are not documents about that, but there are a lot of books saying that the Komnenos Palaiologos, they claim to come from Saint Constantine the Great.
Θα θέλαμε να μας πείτε, επειδή ο σύζυγός σας ταξιδεύει σε όλο τον κόσμο, θα θέλαμε να μας πείτε πώς γνωριστήκατε.
Εμείς γνωριστήκαμε μέσω κοινού μας φίλου. Γνωριστήκαμε στην πανέμορφη Φλωρεντία, όταν ο σύζυγός μου είχε κάνει για 2 μέρες μια πολύ ωραία, διοργάνωσε μια πολύ ωραία έκθεση με έργα ζωγραφικής από μια πολύ γνωστή ζωγράφο που ήταν από την Κίνα. Ναι, και πήγα στη Φλωρεντία και ήταν, θα τολμήσω να πω, ευλογημένη η ώρα και στη στιγμή που πήγα και τον γνώρισα. Ευλογημένη η ώρα.
Let me tell you something, you know. The princes are always friends with the nation and with the people. The problems are the politicians, because the politicians, they always have behind big banks, lobbies, and they are not really working for the people. But the princes, they have no interest to work for the big banks. I'm not rich, for instance, so I don't have any bank behind me. I don't have any lobby behind me. So we are really with the heart close to the people. We like Greece. We like any nation. And I think a real politician should be like this, you know, to be close to the people.
So as far as policy is concerned, why Prince of Montenegro and Macedonia? What do you mean Macedonia?
Because
why specific these two?
It's very easy, because in Montenegro, unfortunately, we are 2 royal houses. So it's very easy to confuse the 2 royal houses. So the last one is the royal house of Montenegro. My house is the Imperial Royal House of Montenegro and Macedonia, to make a difference, also because we are Komnenos Palaiologos, and I think I have the right, not because I say this, but because there is in the old books, that always my ancestors in the 17th, 18th, 19th centuries, they were fighting or going to Europe, Western Europe. They were using the name Prince of Macedonia, Prince of Thessalia or Prince of Macedonia. But Prince of Macedonia was the title that they were using to the court of France, or in Germany, or in Italy, and they are always Prince of Macedonia. And they were using the name Komnenos Palaiologos.
Meaning the historic region of
exactly.
Macedonia.
So it's a long tradition that lasts centuries, that they use the name Macedonia. But you know, I know this is a very sensible problem and very difficult issue here in Greece,
I would
because
like to ask your opinion about this debate between Greece and the former Yugoslav Republic.
Look, Macedonia is a wonderful country, but of course it's a Greek country, because the roots and the tradition is Greek. The great Alexander was one of the first sovereign of Macedonia. but it happened more than 2,000 years ago. So in this long period of centuries, a lot of other invaders, barbarians, Slavic, Russian, Bulgarians, Turks, Serbian, every country, Goths, German tribes, Hungarians, a lot of that time called barbarians, they came in these centuries and they established themselves also in Macedonia. For instance, also the last emperor of Constantinople, his mother was a Dragaš in Serbian. She was a Serbian princess, and the family, they were princes of Macedonia, and they were Serbian, So what does it mean? It means that Macedonia was, of course, a country with a lot of people. Also the dish, the fruit, Macedonia has a lot of Macedonian salad has a lot of different fruits and things, for the meaning that all the peoples are in Macedonia. So of course we cannot change after more than 2,000 years and to say, because history is changing all the time. And we have to respect 100 years that even under the Yugoslav socialist, this region was called Macedonia, and also for, So maybe they have to find, my own humble proposal is to call it Northern Macedonia. Maybe like we have the Southern Tyrol, we have North Korea, and why not Northern Ireland? Why not North Macedonia? Maybe this can be a solution, but I'm not a politician, I'm just close to Macedonia and close to Greece. I try to be objective, and as a Prince of Macedonia, I'm half Greek and half Serbian. So, and everybody's mixed there. Of course, they are Slavic population, but they have also Greek population, Bulgarian, Turkish, Albanians. There are a lot of Albanians also there. So we cannot polish everything and come back to more than 2,000 years ago. It's impossible,
How is it life for a man who has a card of His Important Royal Highness Prince of Macedonia, Montenegro? How's life?
We have a very simple life now. We are caring about the family because we will have a bigger family with our child. But we are not particularly rich. We live also in Athens. We live in Italy, we live in Athens, we live in Belgrade and in Monte Carlo. I am a diplomatic analyst and I make conferences and I'm working also for some charity organization in the world, in Switzerland, in Austria and so on.
What organizations?
For instance, one of them is the ICDO, International Civil Defense Organization of Geneva. It is very old because it was established in 1929. Only the Red Cross is older, and we are opening now offices because of me, because my Chinese contacts. We opened 16 offices in China, so I'm very proud of that. For the civil defense is organizing help for the people that have problems for earthquakes, fires, heavy rains. When they have this problem, we have some task forces to send them to help for the help. So this is very important for every nation, and the ICDO is recognized by more than 100 nations. But normally, when we are,
what is your exact position in this organization?
I was ambassador in 1916 for 1 year, and now I'm in the board as a diplomat to keep contacts with other nations to organize all these issues about the civil defense. And of course, I'm also caring about the knowledge of my royal house, because this is a cultural issue I like very much. So I know, the history of the Balkans is very complicated. So people, they don't know anything, especially in America or in Russia or in far countries in the Far East. They don't know anything about Greece, Montenegro, Bulgaria. They are totally unknown sometimes, So it's very important to talk about the history. and the culture to other people, and also to organize charity, business, and to work. But when we are in Athens, we live very normally, you know. We wake up in the morning. Karula, she's a teacher with young children, 6-7 years ago, so she goes to the school. Me, I'm working to the computer all the time in the morning and in the afternoon, keeping contacts. Then sometimes we go, like yesterday, it was a traditional Greek restaurant to have, because I like very much the Greek food. So we like traditional food and Greek wines, Greek oil, and yesterday we enjoyed very much this dinner. And then we make sports, go running, jogging, gym, walking, just a normal life. I mean, we live in Pankrati, which is this beautiful area in Athens, but we also travel very much, you know, because for my work I have a lot of meetings, conferences, I meet a lot of, we are also in the diplomatic, we are invited by the diplomatic embassies in Athens to keep contacts and to have relations. So my bigger dream would be one day to be like a cultural ambassador for Greece in the world, to talk to people and say how beautiful Greece is and how majestic are the touristic beauties of Greece, the food and the people. This is my dream.
I've read some things about you in the Italian press. Do you have a comment about?
Yes, they are totally fake news. I never had problems with justice in my life, never. But this is unfortunately a political problem with Montenegro. You know, I try to be friend with the government of Montenegro, but they are still a little bit difficult and they don't want to accept me. So they put all this fake news. So, of course, the judge in Italy, he understood immediately that they were totally fake news, and that I was a real ambassador, that my diplomatic passport was a real one, United Nations totally valid, and so nothing happened, you know. I never was arrested, I never had problems with justice in my life, never.
But when they said about that my husband was arrested, he was here in Athens, so we also the news was coming to us through our friends. So he was here, and they told him something was happening in Italy. So I think in this case it's very pity, because all of this is fake news, of course, and it's pity because if they really know my husband as a person, as a character, because he's a wonderful person, he's a charismatic person
and kind. I want to always to be kind with everybody, you know.
Peaceful.
The problem is the politics of Montenegro, which is a very difficult politics, and there is also some mafia involved because, you know, they make smuggling, you know.
You tried to be recognized from the state of Montenegro as a prince of Montenegro. What happened?
I'm recognized for the Republic of Serbia, for instance, because they give me back the passport. Now I'm also a Serbian citizen. But Montenegro is still, I'm still negotiating to be recognized.
What do you mean recognized? Recognized as a citizen, as a prince?
Both, of course, both, because our family gave the name to Montenegro and built everything, all the churches, all the fortresses, all the towns in Montenegro. So we are the oldest family of Montenegro. So you cannot, you know, it's just stupid to say this family doesn't exist, you know, because a royal family is not something that you can start from nothing, you know. So there is a long history, a long tradition, but unfortunately there are some members of the politicians that didn't want to recognize me because some parties, they wanted me even to be the next president of Montenegro. You know, they wanted me, you know, the people, they don't like the NATO because they were bombed during the Yugoslav war about NATO. And me too. I said, before to enter the NATO, we must think about this important step, you know. So, and also Russia, they said, this is something secret, that even in the newspaper they didn't wrote, Russia maybe started also to make a coup d'etat. And so nobody knows what happened, and they thought I'm a little bit involved in this, which I'm not, because I'm a very peaceful person and I'm not involved in any politics. I'm a diplomat and I'm not involved in politics. So they were afraid I could start political negotiation with Montenegro. But I'm not looking for anything. I'm not looking for a throne. I'm not looking to. I want just to be recognized as my family as a cultural issue, to be like a friend of Montenegro, of the people of Montenegro.
You want this?
But in Montenegro, look, they wrote on the newspaper that I was arrested, that I was in jail, and these are big lies, big lies.
Would you like to have this kind of connection with Greece as well, to get recognized?
Why not? Why not? I mean, we are talking about culture. We are talking about history. So why not to be a sort of cultural ambassador of the Balkans? You know, Balkans, we have a lot of wonderful, beautiful nations that nobody knows in the world. We are talking about USA or China. They don't know us. So we need people, international people, that can be a cultural ambassador in the world. We live in 4 nations. We live in Monte Carlo, in Italy, in Serbia, in Athens. So we can be of help for this nation to be recognized as the most beautiful nations in Europe. Some of the most beautiful nations in Europe for tourism, for culture. So what is wrong in this? You know, why we cannot be friends? Why the Montenegro politics doesn't accept me? Why? I want to be friends with everybody. I want to respect everybody, but I want to be respected as a royal house, because we don't ask anything. We just want to exist.
Okay, but has any official authority recognized your title?
There are a lot. I'm recognized by the Principality of Monaco because I was ambassador from the ICDO to Monaco, so I have a lot of papers. I have a couple of diplomatic passports with my titles. Some churches, Orthodox churches, they recognize my titles. I have a lot of documents.
Which Orthodox church?
A lot of the Italian Orthodox Church recognize me. The French one, Orthodox Church, recognize me as a Prince of Montenegro and Macedonia. And I put a lot of these kind of documents on my website. Everybody can look to them.
We have also seen photographs of you and the Prince of Monaco, for example.
I have photographs and relationships with every royal. I met a lot of times also the Greek royals. So we are friends.
So the official royal families of Europe and the ex-royal family of Greece recognizes you as
I don't know if they recognize, I hope so, but we are friends. We have pictures together, we talk together, we have dinners together, so we have a relation. Then I think a royal family that doesn't need to be recognized from another royal family. You know, in the books there is written enough. You know, so nobody can say you are true, you are not true. I mean, if there are documents, papers are papers, and bullshits, lies are lies, you know. So we don't need to be recognized by anybody, you know. The family exists, and the family is an old one.
After your marriage, are you considered also as a princess?
Of course, yes. Of course, yes. She's the Princess of Montenegro and Macedonia.
So I'm very proud to have this title through my husband, and I have to thank him about this title.
She's more royal than me. I'm a very simple man.
So, and I'm also very proud to have that my husband, as a Prince of Montenegro, has also the roots to be also the Prince of Macedonia, through to have these roots from the imperial, famous royal family of Palaiologos.
Yes, because you know the Greek royal family, they are wonderful friends, but they are Danish. They are not really Greek. So me,
Greeks, with the family of Greeks.
Me, I'm a very humble man, but I'm Greek. By my roots, my blood is Greek. So I think to talking culturally, we are very Greek, more than them.
Would you like in the future to interfere with Greek politics?
I'm not able because I'm not able to speak Greek. But maybe our son or our daughter, I hope he will be able or she will be able.